Let's get into a 12-bar blues. I composed this tune, Stompin' the Grass, so we could explore a couple of different things about the blues. First of all, the 12-bar blues form, and then a couple of rhythmic elements we're going to get into here in what we call a stomp rhythm in bluegrass style. So the first thing I need to point out is that we are in what I consider cut time now. So the beat, instead of going 1 EN to 2 EN to 3 EN to 4, is now 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So those considerations have a lot to do with how music is notated. It also has a lot to do with how we feel the music. And this type of stomp rhythm will become clear to you listening to the bass. So the bass on these rhythm tracks has a bit of walking. So that's how I'm feeling the rhythm, instead of our regular root 5, which has the longer beats. So that is kind of a brief rundown of how you would recognize one feel versus the other. However, the way you feel the rhythm is totally personal, and I'm just kind of making some suggestions based on how I feel it. So I'm going to start by performing the melody here for you. So you hear this tune. It's just a simple melody that uses some standard blues language. Most of the language you're hearing on this melody from the lead sheet is stuff we've done before, licks that we've played. But I'll give you a brief run through of how it all works. So the point here is that I am using pickup notes, as I do often, and targeting the major third here in the key of G. And I'm doing that because we're on the 1 chord. So this is another exercise in which notes to target over which chord change. And then I do this little lick. That's a cool lick we haven't done before. We've done lots of things that use these same notes. It's the major third, and then doing a little drop string lick, like I call it, where on the upstroke you catch the open string, and then getting the flat third in there. So I've alluded to that before. When you are on the 1 chord and you're targeting the major third, you can use that flatted third to approach it ascending, and then when you're descending, we often use the flatted third to descend. So this is like climbing up the hill, falling down the hill. And then we move on to this little lick. We've done that before. This is using your major pentatonic blues scale with the flatted 5th and the, well, I'm sorry, it's a mixture lick. It's this minor pentatonic blues pattern, and then getting into our major pentatonic. But anyhow, that uses the flat 5, the flat 3, and the major 3. So a tasty lick that you're going to use often. And then we get to the 4 chord. And now what do we target on the 4 chord? The flatted 3 of the key. Okay? And again, why? Because it belongs to your C7 chord. It's the 7th of the 4 chord. So another exercise in keeping it really tasty by using the appropriate blues note at the appropriate time. And that's just a version of the lick we did over the 1 chord, but now adapting it to the flatted third over the 4 chord. And then we close it out with a repetition of the same lick. And now we do a version of our intro lick, the same one we keep coming back to, but now over the 5 chord. And this is a great 5 chord lick. You can always use this over your D7 chord, using the flatted 3rd up to the major 3rd, and then the flatted 5th on the way up to the 5th, which is again, what note in the key of G? The 2. We hit that so many times when we're on the 5 chord. And then here's a nice D chord lick. Super bluesy. That is all straight from the minor, D minor pentatonic. And then we close it out with a lick on the 1 chord. That really uses that flat 5 on the way. Take that lick and work it out an octave higher. Snappy pull off there. You have 2 tempos of the rhythm track, so practice this at your own pace, and we'll move on and get to the stomp rhythm in the next lesson.